I am Mr. Omagor David Stephen, a politician from Bukedia. I started my career when I was working in URA for 11 years, whereby when we laid off in 2005, I joined politics. By then, politics was very clean, and bad people started joining the politics. I've gone through thick and thin throughout all that time of politics. I endured to make sure that I try to practice clean politics in Bukedia. But throughout the times, this has been going on. The turning point happened when I lost my mom in the hands of murderers. And during the police investigations, the murderers unearthed their sponsors, and those sponsors were mentioned even in court, and they're in the court files. But due to the sponsors being people with influence, we were not able to get justice. There was a lot of interference. There was a lot of interference from government officials to save the sponsors. And there was a lot of tampering in evidence, which was supposed to be adduced in court. And we went through a lot of hell. That time, the president had given me bodyguards, so I could survive throughout the trials of these people until court acquitted them on technical terms. The rest of the story about the mother of my mom was covered by the Monitor, and there was a series of murder cases in Teso. You can just go to the internet, Google murders in Teso. You'll get all those, the whole story there. And when I met the president, he advised me not to do anything because we were too angry. And when we saw the course of the case in court going to the wrong side, we decided to withdraw the case. And being a case handled by DPP, we couldn't go any far. We negotiated, let's withdraw, rectify what has been removed from the file, and present all the 24 witnesses. DPP kept quiet. We knew he had been infiltrated. So we lost it. We sat as a family and said, sit down. We are Catholics, we hand it over to God. And the church also came in to the family and said, please don't do anything. Leave it to God. Revenge is for God. Even if you can't appeal, you cannot do anything. Everything has been blocked. So we left it at that. Little did we know that this thing will haunt these people for long, and started looking for our lives. My brothers couldn't handle it. One ran to exile in Turkey, another to South Africa. It took me a lot of time to convince them to say that, come back, we keep our family together. Those people are not hunting for you. So one from South Africa came back during the COVID time because COVID really disorganized his work in South Africa. One is still in Turkey. And we have tried to keep ourselves low. But ever since, there have been a lot of attempts on my life. One time even I got trumped up charges that I wanted to murder somebody who happens to be my uncle. When I reported to police, it was terrible. They unleashed on me a flying squad, struggling to pick me, to bring me to Nalufenya. So during all that time of the campaigns, there were two camps in Bukedia. One was under Honorable Akolokulu, and then this one was under Patrick Ishagi, Ariongo Joseph. So during the 2016 elections, I was contesting for MP. First, I was contesting as MP for Bukedia before it was separated. Then 2016, I contested for MP Kachumbala. Ishagi decides to resign and ran back because their camp was saying, we are going to lose Bukedia if we allow this man to come in. So they hurriedly brought their man, and For me who believes in democracy, I did not go into the nitty-gritty of bringing officials of the Electoral Commission to my side, the DPC to my side, and other security organs to support them. So there was a lot of rigging taking place. And in the course of that, I didn't go through, but I had a lot of support. All the rigging was done at the polling stations because they gave these people money. The returning officers were given money to make sure that I don't get those votes. And if they had to recount those votes, I would have passed. But they decided when they are counting votes, when it's Omagor, they say Opolot, Opolot. So the other man was picking all my ballot papers, they count and cover and go. So when I appealed to Electoral Commission of NRM, they declined to listen to my petition. Then I realized there was something more than the politics we think we are following for democracy. So when that happened, these people continued hunting for me. And one night I received a call from my mom. She told me, some people have broken in, have entered into the house. I think they want to take the TV. Because first, during the election time, they threw a matchstick inside her house because she was sleeping in a grass-thatched house. She wanted that grass-thatched because it was cool. And I built it very well with a cement screed and everything. It was okay, with power in it. So I told her that, no, this one will burn you here. Shift to my house. I've given you that house, I'll build another one. It was hard time to convince her, but she shifted. So this time they came in and broke into the house and they murdered her. So during investigations, the Shamba boy whom they used to access the house revealed all the people who were behind it, how they promised him money and who contributed what, and the murder was done. And even police CID headquarters put up, I think, 6 or 7 CID officers to investigate that case, who also uncovered a lot over this murder. And those officers were also transferred after releasing that information that these people were involved. And on top of that, 2 police officers lost their jobs for refusing to change the information in their reports. And that is the regional CID officer, Mr. Bura. Okelo Bura lost his job, whereby they alleged that we connived with him to state that they were the ones who were behind the murder. Then Mr. Mapera, also a CID officer, also lost his job because he refused to accept to change the reports. So those people lost their jobs. So there was a lot of tampering. Even the team from State House, which was sent, was compromised. I'm not going to mention the names of those ones, but they know them. Then, when I saw things were turning bad, I retreated and started doing my own things. But these people still were haunted that one day, maybe I'll revenge and what. Because the church came in, the Catholic Church came in and said, don't. And there was a priest who was very particularly following up my case. I said, David, don't. I know mother died when she was annoyed, and she's still in purgatory. Pray for her soul to go to heaven. Because during that murder, I saw my cousin brother was among the murderers. And she said, like Jesus said, et tu, Brutus, even you, my son, they beat her. One of them called Okali was hitting my mother with the butt of a gun. Then one called Malenga was the one who was stabbing my mother on the neck, on the head. Then my cousin Okali hit her with a pestle, which finished her. And then that one was just holding my mother, called Mukola. Then there was one whom they hid. They didn't even mention, but when the SOCO visited the place, picked some fingerprints But there's some fingerprints which couldn't connect with these ones. Though all of them, there were fingerprints, the walls in the house, and we picked, and some with blood stains. There was one which was missing, but eventually, I think a year back, no, 2 years back, that man was murdered by somebody in the village. They said, yeah, we're fearing to tell you because the man is terrible. This is their hitman. If we had mentioned, we would have killed more people. He was also among the people who killed your mom. I said, you mean we can go this low in our democracy? The sponsors were, according to police report, investigation, because these people went up to Nalfenya, the recordings are there, the video recordings of the interrogations are there. The sponsors were Anita Mong, who was supposed to give, I think, 6 million. Ishagi Patrick was supposed to give 4 million. And then to K, William Wilberforce was supposed to give, I think, 2 million, something like that. But they gave them a deposit of 4 million. Then the balance was supposed to be given after the murder. But when things turned up, they haven't received their balance. And that money was supposed to be given to those people. And even the murderers, including my Shambabui. So when the Shambabui saw that was squeezed, that's when he now started narrating the whole story. And during court sessions, there was a lot of interference. Every time we would appear in court, Twine, the PR CID, was always there. So at first we thought maybe he was representing the CID on it, but we saw there was a lot of tampering in the court process. And Anita Mong would come and lodge in Soroti Hotel to monitor what is going on in court, to make sure that we don't get justice. Yes. Yes. Charles Twine's relationship with Anita Mong started way back around 2016 during the investigations of the murder of my mom. She was the one directing how the investigations and the reporting was being made. And at that time, the police in Nalufenya were very thorough. They were not accepting that thing. And the inspector of police, Akulo, was aware of it. That's why she even transferred the investigations to Nalufenya, because there was that interference. And she got what she wanted, and the report was fine, but they went around turning information against the regional CID and Mr. Pera, who were given trumped-up charges and they were dismissed from the police because they were supporting, they were doing a right job. So the country lost very good intelligence officers. So the relation started earlier. And any case in Bukedia, Twine comes in. Any case, the murder of people in the police cells, Twine comes in. The murder of any kind is the one who comes in. So he said, okay, these are politically motivated murders. We have lost a number of people, and we are going to lose more. Why am I saying we are going to lose more? These people are not wanted in Bukedia. Let nobody receive you by the crowds which are paid. Our people are poor. Opolot Patrick Ishagi is not wanted. Anita Mong is even the most unwanted. Tuke William Wilberforce, the RDC, is a terrible representative of the president. Is the terrorist. Is not wanted. And these guys have done a lot of mess in the district. The investigations which were carried out by State House uncovered a lot of rot. Bukedia is not in Uganda. I don't think Museveni even rules Bukedia. It is a lot of rot. There are trumped up charges, cases which are not resolved, or murder cases which are not resolved. We lost the Musut, who was shot during broad daylight, and their names were featuring in the investigations. We lost Emukunyu, who was murdered during broad daylight, and the person who had the gun was known. The case is right. When the Giso tried to investigate, was arrested. When he was arrested, he was brought up to CMI that he was the what? He was the one who provided the gun for killing the other man. We're under trumped up charges. I moved into CMI. He said, you people, these are trumped up charges. Leave this man. This is your link man down there. And they say, we know this man who have worked. And we trusted his reports. But why did I arrest him? I told them the truth. So that case was scuttled. So nobody was arrested over the murder of Mukunyu. And then when you come to issues of poison, you don't eat anything in Bukedia, which is you cannot account for the source. You cannot enter the restaurant when you are not sure of it. You cannot, people, that's why you find even when restaurants in Bukedia are not surviving, people fear to go and eat in those places. So we have that. And when you track issues of poison, you get shocked, the people behind. And there are some things I cannot talk now, but there is a lot. So you have to be on the lookout. Then we continued. One day I received a call. David, they have reported you want to kill your uncle. He has reported to, first Anderson reported to CID headquarters. Then from there, they said, no, transfer it to Mbale. Then we shall get him from there. Because I'd run away from my office in the Winton Road. I was now a fugitive in my client's offices. That's where I could do my work. So I knew it was going to be, they have got me out of my hiding. I told us, I'm coming on Thursday. On Tuesday, I took off. I packed everything in my car with about $2,500, put a full tank of fuel. I was now going to Juba. And when I reached Kafu, somebody called me, a friend of mine called me and said, no, David, you cannot go to exile, come back. This is a free country. People are running as refugees to this country. How do you also run? We have avenues of what? Of controlling crime. So when I came back, I went now. He told me, don't go on Thursday, go on Wednesday. I reached Mbale on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. The whole place got disorganized. They made me write statements. A report was already taken to police headquarters that he is here. This time you have got him. The OC said he refused to release me to flying squad. The regional police commander said, don't get involved in Bukedia politics. It's bad. Write your statements, finish up everything. So a number of people were running up and down to rescue me. So I survived there. And when I left, CMI also deployed to make sure that these people don't get me. So when I left, I hid my car. I started driving from Mbale. On the way, radio station calls me. So that was deterred the flying squad, which was now sent from Kampala. Deterred the flying squad to go to the radio station to wait for me outside. When I was already out, I was just talking on phone. I drove at 200 kilometers per hour because I knew that the flying squad has 180 kilometers per hour vehicles, these Toyotas. And I was driving a BMW 7 Series, 4000 cc, 8-cylinder. So it was really a good machine. I drove until Igar, then I slowed it down now after the dam because there's a lot of traffic there. Then passed via Kayunga to reach Kampala. And I went and hid that vehicle from 2016 up to today in some garage. I have not removed it because they started looking for it. They couldn't get. So I hid it and went into hiding. I've left that car there. It's rotting away. And it has never come out of the garage. It's just parked there. So when that happened, I thought these people would still give up on me. I would be trailed by motorcycles. I would be trailed by this, and that type of thing. Target is I'm a very powerful mobilizer in Bekadia. and the rigging was targeted on me. And the people in my camp, like the LC5 chairman, was poisoned. Ulimkan Moses, I was the one financing him because I knew he was a good man. We had good wishes for Bukedia, and all the people supported me because I did a lot for them. I did a lot of community service to these people. I was involved in the fundraising in most of the churches. I supplied hospital beds in all the health centers, beds, mattresses, and some other medical equipment. I used even to buy drugs and supply into these health centers. I even started drilling boreholes. I drilled a borehole for the prisons, but I got a lot of attacks. So I withdrew my team, which was drilling boreholes for this, because I was going to drill about 40 boreholes. So they saw that my political capital was really going very high. So they started now sabotaging. I was bringing a hospital for eyes, opticians, because that's the part government is not looking much because of spectacles. You rarely find a government or place which does what? Gives spectacles. I discovered it is a very dangerous thing in the community, and that's where our poverty originate from. Somebody cannot differentiate between a grass and a weed and what he has planted. So he can't cultivate, he can't work. By 3 o'clock, somebody is walking back home because he can't see at night. I discovered it was a very serious issue. So Naduli was very clever. I picked that project, took it to Luero, it's there. So I said, you go, me, I have nowhere to take. These people have gagged up and closed everything. So I used to take health camps there, and I will carry people from Bukedia to Costas to come for operations in Luero at my cost. I would carry about 99, carry about, and issue spectacles, because every time we have just a 2-day camp, we get over 500 people. We're overwhelmed. We could even add 1 extra day to treat people, and we discovered it's a very big issue in the village. So I did that. So I got a lot of support. People knew that this is the person we want. Political camps in Bukedia, these are people who, they started by ganging up. Say one from LC1, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. So in that political camp, they will go as a team and mobilize for themselves in what? In the campaigns, by planting people everywhere as there comes. How do they recruit theirs? If you are arrested for stealing chicken, they bail you out and say, join us. If you are arrested for any crime, they struggle to get you out. So those people hold allegiance to them for their protection about such cases. So they ended up having a gang of bad people. Anita Among ended up having a gang of bad people. That's why we are having a lot of trouble with those people. And when they talk in the community, the whole community gets scared of them. And you can even unleash police on you. Can even unleash police on you just by a phone call. And then the police come and arrest you on trumped-up charges. We have boys who have suffered being arrested for nothing. A number of cases. In 2016, if I can remember very well, I got an invitation to go and meet the president, because the president got concerned about the murders in Teso, which was also being serialized by the Monitor newspaper. So when he got interested in that, they called me to State House. I went there with the former Minister of Internal Affairs and some elders from Bukedia. So, I went to meet the Honorable Rose Okulu Akol. So when we went there, because even her, she was under threat. When we went there, instead of me relating my story to the president, he told me the whole story, how those people came in, attacked, and then he only asked me 2 questions. Did she make an alarm? I said yes. Why didn't people come? I said there was a crusade of Balokole. nearby. So there was a lot of noise, so he couldn't hear. And this is an old woman. She cannot make a lot of noise. Then the second question was, how did they access the house? I said they accessed through the chamber boy who gave them the keys, opened. They didn't break in. They just opened. He said, okay, I know you are very annoyed. Be a good citizen. Don't do anything. I will handle. So I was disarmed. I couldn't do anything. Even what we wanted to appeal or whatever it is, we gave up and said, let's watch and wait what the president will say. So this goes back to that time when I was released from Bali, when I came back to Kampala. The following day I was called to UPDF headquarters, and the person who called me was the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi David. He called me, and when we were seated in the office, he called his boss, the president, that David is here. He gave me bodyguards who kept me for 1.5 years. So I was able to buy time that time. I was able to buy time for my security. I had bodyguards. I was moving them all that time. So I was free. So when they discovered that at least now the threats have gone down, they withdrew them. So when the bodyguards were withdrawn, I continued my life with my hustle and doing my own things. When the elections again came, 2021, I went again for MPship. I had a lot of support, but due to the use of these tags they have been having, they made sure that they posted them in every polling station and made sure that the tally sheets were changed. Even when my team was collecting those tally sheets, they blocked them and grabbed the return forms, the declaration forms, and took them off, away from my people. So I gave up. I said, no, let me leave. This time around, there was, when our chairman died, and the story of the death of the chairman, he talked, Mr. Olim Khan talked to me, said, David, I've been poisoned. I said, by who? He said, by our enemies. So be on the watch out. Because they have tried you, and you used to warn me that be very careful, deal with them at arm's length. But he insisted, he said, the president has told me to work with these people. He said, fine, but be on a watch out. So he said, I've been poisoned. So one day he just calls me, I'm in hospital in Cancer Institute. Can you come quickly? I rushed there. When I rushed there, he looked at me and said, David, these people have finished us. I silenced him, keep quiet, because there are many people that keep quiet. We shall talk about it later. He said, they have finished me. I'm not going to survive. And he had a terrible pain in the stomach. Would stand up, sit down. I would hold him, lift him up, sit him down, lift him. Then a call came. I answered that call. Not only did I know that they are connected to the other guys. Then I heard a voice which was on the other end, said, if David is there, we're not going to help him. I said, what? I said, me, I'm not going to start fighting over a man they have finished. So I gave the boys instructions on how to keep him in the hospital, to be on a watch out, who does what, and so forth. I withdrew to the back, and I was only monitoring on phone. So he was taken to Nairobi. He came back. When he went back, coming back, he died. But throughout that time when he comes, I would always sit with him and will tell me everything on how the suspected people and the people who were behind it and what type of poison. So in the course of his treatment, whenever I would come back, he would make sure that he meets me. He would call me to where I was staying in Kanyanya and tells me the whole story on how everything has happened. So when I heard that he has died, I just knew they have succeeded in him. But it has not broken the hearts of the people of Bukedea. They still mourn for him. That's why when his replacement came, the people of Bukedea called to State House in Tebe to meet the president. So the stage managed that the people who wanted to stand should stand down and leave, and S2 drop out to go for LC5 chairperson. And this was, the president accepted, asked the other people to step down in favor of this woman. Immediately they were coming out of State House. That's the LC3s, the councillors, and the group which went there. I started getting calls. David, we are disappointed. Go and stand. I mobilized very fast. Went, started reactivating my sleeping cells that it's now time again to what? to stand. And we mobilized very fast. And everything was fine. When these people discovered that this man is going to take this seat, they swung into action with their thugs. They got Alex Enguloiti. First of all, they planted one person in my camp as the chairman. I was warned, but they said, don't leave that man, keep on moving with him. Because if you move alone, they will open fire on you. So let them open fire with their person who is moving with you. I said, okay, I will survive that. So on the day when I was going, I got a call. David, you are in Acacia Mall? I said, yes. Can you disappear? I abandoned my car, abandoned the phones there. I took off with the border. Reaching my office, they had planted somebody again there. When they planted that person there, I changed the phones, got a new number and what. That one also stole that phone. Then I knew that I was being surrounded. I would leave at 10, 11 or 12 at night to go for campaigns. Mobilization, I would beat my teams at night. By 3 o'clock, I'm on the way back to Kampala. The following day, the same thing. The day when I was in Bukedea during daytime, they followed me up to Malera. I took off from there. He didn't call me. Changed the direction again, went back to Malera. Then at around 11 at night, I took off for Kampala. I reached Kampala at around 3 or 4. So it was a hard time. My only thing was to make sure that I get nominated because I'd already set everything moving. So when I did that, I had a meeting in Kumi. You know, there are people who are, not all police are bad. There are those who tip you and say, David, they have almost got you. They are going to pick the patrol car. Can you disappear? I disappeared again. I left the car there. Somebody took the car to the hotel where I was staying. I hid in the hotel for some days. I took off again at around midnight back to Kampala. I was only monitoring and trying to see that I get nominated. These people were really trying all possible ways to make sure that they grab me before nomination. So, Honorable Mukola calls me. I go to his home. He threatens me to stand down. I told him, look here, the stories you are telling me are not new to me. That the father's house has so many rooms. From 2016 up to now, which rooms are those which are not full? Now there is an empty room, that's why I'm entering. He threatened, we disagreed. He said, but why are there camps in Teso? I said, but you are the what? The chairman East. You don't know what your party is doing. No, I'm not interested. I said, but you are supposed to be the chairman. You should know these things. Why are you asking me? You are dealing with thugs who are spoiling the party. Why are you asking me? Okay, if you are refusing to stand, do you know that we control the security? We control everything with the police, the military and everything? I said, I know, yes, but I don't think those people are stupid to be used. And I thought it was a what? Would understand that. Then he even told me, try I said, I'm going. The very people of security also want Bukeda to be liberated. Let me go. That's when I went through all this running up and down. On the night before nomination, because me, I sold my Noah, I sold the Jeep, I sold the Volkswagen, I sold my land in Kamutur, and then I sold the double cabin pickup to raise the 170 million. But of course, during the robbery, they took 163 million. And I kept that money at home. On the day before nomination, I told them, bring the money. They brought the money to my what? To the hotel where I was, because I was going to be nominated, move around, give my agents money to carry out the function, and dash off to Kenya. Because I was now seeing as if it was government which is trying to stop me. So I didn't want to look like I'm fighting government. I wanted them to fight with the Wananchi. So this man discovers I had the money, because he was seeing me carrying a small bag, which I don't allow anybody to carry. You know, I wanted, no, let him. I said, no, don't carry this one. And plus all my what? Nomination papers, the pictures, all that in a paper bag. So from there, convinced me, no, I have a home near the Electoral Commission, because the plan was I would shift at night to enter the Electoral Commission, which the other candidates did, the two of them. They sneaked and they slept in the toilet in the Electoral Commission. In the morning, when they were trying to stop them from being nominated, they discovered they were already inside. They know it was only the nominees now. The people who were nominating are the ones who came late. They were already inside. But they called me and said, David, don't come. There is a car, they have covered number, please, don't come. Then I said, okay, no problem. This place is near that place. I would come very early in the morning. Because we didn't put time for nomination. At midnight, there was a raid at the door. This was a thug, was breaking metal with his hand, was crushing glasses and bleeding. I tried to fight him with a pepper spray. There was a borehole in the compound. He would go back and what? And wash his face. He comes back. Tried again. I said, this was determined. When I peeped through the window, all guns were pointing at me and they were in police uniform. I froze. I said, no, this is a different issue now. This is my life at stake. I'm in a locked up place with one exit. I cannot go anywhere. I cannot go to the ceiling because you'll check there. God showed me a dress, a woman's dress which was hanging. I put on it. I slid under the bed. So these guys managed to open the door. They entered. And I was there with one of my agents who was sleeping in the sitting room, who was even guarding those things, keeping them, because I was in a bedroom. The house was not mine, it was for the mayor. So they grabbed him. Boo, quickly said, ah. They even communicated, said, we have got him. I had them took my phone, we have got him. Instead of marching the guy to the police, they marched him to a forest. When they marched him to that forest, they started beating him. Eh? You have been disturbing us. Why are you disturbing the what? Why are you disturbing the speaker? The boy said, no, I'm not the one. But who are you? Then one said, no, this is not the one. This is not the one. Then they asked, who are you? Can you produce your ID? He gave them the ID. Now, this is what the boy was now telling me after his release. Can you produce the ID? Produce the ID. They saw it was a different name. It was not me. But where is he? He also told them, because he knew they would come and check the house and find me. He said, no, he went with the mayor. I said, are you sure? He said, he went with the mayor. He's not here. And the course of that short time, I changed the location. I shifted to the next house. These guys came back with anger after beating this boy badly. Even after that, the boy started vomiting blood. Up to now, he has not stabilized. Either the kidneys are damaged or whatever he is. So I think any time he might even die because of the beatings. So they came and checked. I was not there. And I was watching through the window. They checked even in the pit latrine, they're flashing everywhere because they told them that man disappears. Immediately you get him, see him like he will disappear. And actually I disappeared. They went, took the boy to police. Now, they went now to Maya's home because he said that he was there. They knocked. He didn't open. They didn't break into his house. I think not that he communicated to them that he's not there. He could have been there. At around 4, Maya comes back, finds the door open. There was blood. And at the junction to his home, he flashed with my car lights. When I saw that, I said, let me act very fast before he communicates this people. I ran with that dress, entered the car. I said, drive, don't call anybody. He started panicking. The man he thought had been killed is the one now seated in the car. Told him, pass Panyas. We drove up to Kumi. Then from there, I went up to the regional police commander's office. That's where now I removed my dress. The regional police commander had my story and acted very fast. Sent a team there to get the what? The details, the crime of the crime scene. And also went and picked this boy from police and took him to Soroti. Because I told him if you leave him there, he will be poisoned. Bukedia police is not a good police station because they even kill you in the cells. So rescue him. So they rescued him. The regional police commander also started getting threats from Anita. So, and he was transferred immediately. That's when State House now came to investigate the case and even uncovered cases of murder which Anita was stopping the police from prosecuting. So those files were there, and the State House Anti-Corruption Unit managed to uncover a lot of that. You know, the story is very long. We would talk for hours and hours, but I've gone through hell. I don't live a normal life, and my eyes not being in front are behind. Who is following? So any police uniform coming near me is already scary because I know how they can torture and who has sent them. Even if it's a mere traffic offense, I become very cautious about it. If it means driving without stopping, I take off. I don't allow to be arrested because I know the consequences. The day when you'll hear that Omagor has been arrested, just contribute money for A+, so that I can be buried as a human being. That's my story. Recently, the former RCC Rubaga, Anderson Borora, looked for me. And he met me and said, I've been hearing your stories. It's a story which every Ugandan should know. May I hear your part of the story? So I narrated to him the whole story. Then he said, how is this woman? Because yes, I started talking about her corruption tendencies, about the abuse of office. I want to hear your story because you're one of the stories that is being used. That's an example of abuse of office and terrorism by this speaker. Tell me your story. So I told him my story. Then he said, but how are you surviving? I told him I'm Catholic. I have my rosary. God looks after me. I don't have anything else apart from that. And of course, the goodwill of the community and of Ugandans. They caution you, don't go this way. This is going to happen, so I take cover. I run. Like that, you abandon this. So I told him about it. Then I cautioned him. Borora, the person we are dealing with is not a human being. In Teso, we call it a what? An evil person. And when we were young, they used to call it a ngu, something which comes with red lips, red eyes, and what? Which used to scare. They used to use that sort of a ngu to scare us. Take it like that. And I cautioned him, don't accept to be arrested. If you are arrested, you are finished. Either you'll be poisoned or you'll have trumped up charges. So I cautioned him and even told him, you have to be on a watch out. Once this woman, the speaker, sets eyes on you, you are not safe. Don't take that I'm joking, because he got me in a place he least expected to get me, because I keep on changing my locations. So don't take your guard down. Don't put on the same clothes. Don't travel with the same car. That's why I have 14 vehicles, because I have to change my movements. Don't appear in the same place a number of times. Make sure you are not easily traced. And from today, the day we got, know that there are people assigned to track your phones, whether you like it or not, under our payroll. So you are not safe. He said, are you sure? He said, yes. You are dealing with a very difficult person. I said, but why do you really think that she's very good? I said, do you know that the people of Bukedea never voted for that woman? Even the first time we went to parliament, she rigged the elections. She entered with pre-ticked ballot papers. She entered with the declaration forms into the police station where they're keeping the what, and made sure they discarded all the rest, and hers were taken into consideration. That's how she came. People of Bukedea don't want her. This time she knew that she was going to lose if she had allowed an election. She really scattered the girls who had picked nomination forms. Some were taken to prison. Some were arrested. Others were chased away from the district. They were hiding. I even hid one in my home for 2.5 months. Some of them were taken to court using ghost complainants. Like there's one called Helen Akol. They used a name of Omagor Kodel. And me, the Omagor Kodel I knew was the former LC5 who died long ago before even these elections. Somebody, and even court couldn't call Omagor Kodel to testify in court. And that case even goes up to High Court. Without Omagor Kodel appearing, you look at our justice system. She's so influential that nobody can lift a finger in the justice system. So I warned him that immediately you are taken to court, there is no judge who will go against her. She controls the judiciary, she controls the police, she controls the intelligence system, she controls the arms of government. The only place she has failed to infiltrate is the UPDF, because those ones are very well disciplined and they follow their command structure. So she can't infiltrate the UPDF. I briefed him how dangerous she is. But this time, you just get a tweet saying that they are negotiating, that they want to take me. I said, what? How can you accept to do that? And just wait and see how Burora's case is going to be. There is no judge who will go against this woman's decision. There is no police officer, especially the notorious parliamentary police. The notorious parliamentary police. You'll find that your life will become very difficult. She's the one who commands them. They don't know IGP. So I warned him about it, that be very careful. And I even told him, don't talk to these people as if you are talking to NRMs. The NRM wanted to destroy the opposition by taking their good cadres from opposition. The opposition did not look at it like their cadres are being taken. They used them to infiltrate the NRM. And these ones have infiltrated the NRM, and they have come with defiance. Defiant to the president, defiant to the institutions of government, defiant to anybody in power. So they have come up with the agenda of defiance. So don't think that NRM is pure as the cadres are expected. These newly acquired cadres are infiltrators. And the parliament is run by FDC. They even tell me that for us, we know how to infiltrate. Because those guys in FDC are my friends, we talk. They even tell me, you man, be very careful with them. We told you when I was beaten, we told you that you'll be beaten. Didn't they beat you? On the day when I went for nominations, didn't they beat me? They unleashed 50 people to beat me, 50. And I was lucky My guardian angel was on my side. 50 people cannot kill a rat. The rat will escape. If those people were 6 or 10 or few, they would have killed, because everybody would get a punch on me. Because when they attacked like this, I went straight for one who was in front of me, I pushed him down, pressed him down. I was going to squeeze him, then they started trying to beat. The one who was on top of me was also pressed by the other, and so it was only one who kicked me on the side, and then some first punches which I got. That made me go for treatment in Nairobi. So when that happened, I briefed Brora how dangerous these people can be. She does not listen to the president. She does not listen to other government institutions, the executive, the state house, nothing. She is on her own. So that is the type of person. And I told him, she has got you. If you have some small money, prepare a home in exile. Because the target of this woman is to take over state house. By the time she's in state house, take off. Because we are the people who will be picked. He said, you mean is that serious? I said, I know her better than you. We have been having these fights for 20 years. And I've survived. My friends have gone down, but I've survived. So he went satisfied that I've briefed him on how to. He said, okay, I will take precaution, whatnot, and so forth. So one day he called me that, can we go to Kumi? I have some people I want to meet there. Can we go to Bukere? I said, no, we cannot manage to Bukere. Let's go to Kumi. We go to friendly territory. Let's not go to Bukere. Me, I don't go to my home. And if I go to my home, I can't sit even for a second. Within less than 5 minutes, I've left. I don't stay. Because people are planted. When it's around, the panga man will just come for me straight. So we went to Kumi. We reached at around midnight. We organized the people here, the goat, who were supposed to give him information. They gave him information. When I was seated, I saw a message from Anita Mong. Brother, it was now a screenshot which was sent to her. Brother, be very careful. Tell Honorable to put people to guard the what? To guard the gates. They are coming to take photographs of the school, the hospital, and all our properties. They are coming to do it, and they are coming with the spectacles, with the cameras. They are coming with the cameras to take photographs. Immediately I got that information, we withdrew our team. Said, come back. The lead has been opened. And we had already covered with all these people who had come, people whom they had sent to beat, broken necks, people whose friends were killed, who were tortured, reverends who were cut on the heads, reverends who were tortured, in which led to the separation of the Church of Uganda. So 87% of Church of Uganda people went to Reform Anglican Church because of that confusion. So they're beating these people, cutting, breaking their houses, what? Terrorism. And government is keeping quiet. If you think that the police is working, what have they done with those people? She says, don't. So she controls the police. So, after getting all that information, the girl who crossed from her side to her side was sent to the hotel. I sent a message to her, I know what you are doing. You are tracking me, I'm here. I kept you in my home. I never sold you, now you are selling me. Is this the price you give me? You pay me for having kept you in your home when Anita wanted to kill you? I sent her that message. So we became now, I asked Borara, what do we do? He said, let's go inside the hotel because we're in the gardens. Went to the hotel. We started having our lunch. First, before we entered, somebody in plain clothes came and went to the extreme side of the hotel, was talking on phone, but the building where he was, talking near that building, there was somebody who was listening. So that person was relaying information like this. He's talking with Anita, he's talking with who. We noticed that. I told him that, do you know what's going to happen? Parliamentary police, if they don't mobilize from here, are going to raid this place. Let's go to the restaurant. We entered. So we're in the restaurant with some tourists, with some Bazungus there, and other clients having lunch, as you know, with the hotel. Then man comes straight for me. Can we go out? First, 2 patrol cars surrounded the hotel. They came in. This man came in and this policeman, I said, can we go out? I told him, for what? I want to talk to you. He said, let's talk here. This is a chair talk. No, it's not like that. Let's go out. I said, what is the secret? When I realized that the beaters, the terrorists were outside, I raised my voice. The tourists took off into their rooms. Borora took off. But for him, he didn't go to his room, went to the balcony to monitor. I remained with some people who also left one by one. I remained with this man alone. I told him, do you know that I know what your mission is, to kill me? Do it here. There's no problem. I've given up with my life. Do it here. So, no, it's not. I said, no. Do you see that uniform? Those are terrorists. Those people are carrying guns to shoot me. You take me there, I'm finished. Do it here. And if you want me, take me in a coffin, but you are not taking me alive. Then fortunately, one border guy just comes and stands next to me. And already information had leaked. There were many borders outside the hotel, blocking the hotel, blocking these policemen from entering. One came and said, do you know UPA? The man said, yeah. Looked at me, why? Do you know Arrow Boys? Said, why? I was one of them. Touch him, you will not live here. He realized things were changing. And I understand this was the CID officer, crime intelligence officer. When he realized things were getting bad, people were communicating. They started getting phones from Kampala, they gathered sharing one phone. The DPC was not aware of that operation. The regional police commander was not aware of that operation. And they were ordered to withdraw. They withdrew. But reaching the gate, civilians had closed. Said, no, Museveni's police is for killing civilians. You kill people in Bukedia, you have today got Omagor. You kill him. He's here. They pulled me. Said, kill him. Even us, kill. You have enough bullets. They started panicking. When I saw things were getting out of hand, see, this people might start firing or something like that. And I knew the tourists were in the rooms. And if they start firing there, it will be very bad for this country. Because, you know, those guys are very sensitive. They notify the embassies and what. And I'm sure they even notified about it. So what we did, I came and pleaded, okay, your mission is over. Move out. I told them, it's open. It's finished. They have failed. They have told me to tell them to go. They took off like madmen. They went back. This woman has plan A, B, C, D up to Z if she really wants you. She sends another person, a notorious thug in Bukedia, to enter the hotel with a backpack. And immediately we suspected she could have brought a gun, either a gun for shooting in the hotel, if you gets me, or military uniform to plant something so that there is a second raid in the hotel. We became very clever. We pushed him out of the hotel. He got the borders out to give him kiboko. They beat him up. And Oyo Arafat, the one called the General NRM, who puts on uniform like a general, took off because they were going for him also. And if they had got him, they would have killed him. So they chased them, they went. The following day we planned, what do we do? They already had planted some of their people there, having breakfast, seeing what we are planning. We put a meeting, okay, we are going via Molatari by ferry, let's not pass this side. Then the two of us went to the hotel because he was driving, I was also driving. Let's go by what? The main route. We have diverted them. We came back like mad people. Within a few hours, we were in Kampala. When we reached to congratulate ourselves, we have escaped. Now, What do we see from that? Here is a person who knows is not wanted. She's appealing to people that she should go unopposed, and she says she will make sure she's unopposed. Not knowing that being unopposed, you are not accountable to anybody. You are campaign agents, you don't have campaign agents, you don't have votes, you don't have anything. You are just hanging like a cloud. Anytime you'll collapse down and there's nobody to support you, and you'll flow everywhere. That's why she's behaving like that. People don't want her. She doesn't want to face the ballot paper because she'll be humiliated badly. She has no friends. All those people are thugs who they are holding at ransom for the criminality they have performed. And the people of Bukede have never voted for her. And I want to tell Ugandans, we are sorry we did not send her to parliament. She was sent by the Electoral Commission, the police, and the judiciary. Ask those people which person they have given it to her. But the people of Bukede never voted for her. So the Burora issue is that issue. And by the time they arrested Burora, he had picked a lot of information about her. And he gave it to whoever was asking for it. So it is too late. They are just wasting their time arresting him. It's too late. Even the search, they thought maybe those cameras were there or what. No, it's too late. The information was already taken, and that is it. To understand the issues of the politics in Bukede, there are two camps. In those two camps, one camp is of Anita Among, Ishagi Patrick Opolot, K. William Wilberforce, and their agents, who are all thugs.
Mention the titles of each.
Anita Among is the Speaker of Parliament. Opolot Patrick Ishagi is the MP for Kachumbala. K. William Wilberforce is the RDC of Bukede. And then the rest are just thugs of theirs who they hold at ransom because of the crimes they have performed in Bukede. So if he tries to leave, he say, we are going to take you in. So that's one camp. Then the other one, with Honorable Akolo Kulu, who is now ALA MP, Ikojo, John Bosco, who is the MP for Bukede, and then the late Olim Khan, the LC 5 chairman, who died. And then we also have our supporters here, our agents, and people who sympathize, and elders, including veterans. You know, when they kill a veteran, call them Mkuny. The veterans support our side because they are not scared that these people are going to finish veterans, UPDF veterans. So, going back to the time when my mom's case was being handled, these guys were in prison, investigations were going on. They wanted to kill the key witness, the Shamba boy. The Shamba boy was transferred from Soroti prison to Kumi prison. When he was in Kumi prison, Anita went to Kumi prison to try to talk to the boy with a certain half-caste, I've forgotten her name. Trying to talk to him, the boy refused. When that threat, I notified the prison, OC prison about that threat. The boy was taken to Luzira. In Luzira, he had the same issue. She followed him there. When he was followed there, they removed him. They took him first, I think Italia, some prison in Western. When they took him there, Kaihura met the boy there to get his part of the story. From there again, they sent the former RDC Bwalatum to that prison. When we heard about it, we notified the OC that they will finish that boy if you are not careful. They took him, I think, to a prison in Hoima. Then from there, he was returned back again to Luzira. So the boy used to Red Cross that I want to talk to Papa. I want to talk to him. I want to tell him what's happening to me in prison. These people are going to kill me. So they put him into, not Machison Bay, but upper prison. So I went, I moved there. Then by coincidence, I met to also Honorable Akol. By then, she was not a minister. I met her also. She had also come to see some prisoner. So we entered. When we entered, information reached the OC. There's a bad man in prison. He has entered. Immediately I was arrested. In the OC's office, OC upper prison, maximum prison, I was arrested. Write a statement, I wrote a statement. After writing the statement, how I came in, whom I've come to see, and the circumstances, why I had come to, and what I had told the boy, I wrote my statement. Then Honorable came to know that I've been arrested inside the prison. Now I didn't know whether I will remain there since I was already in prison, or I don't know what they were planning to do. So she talked to the bosses of the prisons. Then I was released. I came out. From that day I knew she had infiltrated prisons. And the OC that said, I think it was called Mwesije or Mwesije, something, upper prison, was the one who arrested me. And it was the one she gave instructions. Then later I was told of other people she was using in prison. So my fear with Brora now is those people are friendly, but you don't know where their friendliness reaches insofar as this woman is concerned. So I fear for him. My Shamba boy is still alive, but of recent we have lost contact because when he was released, even on the day when he was released, it was changed from a defendant to a witness on our side. Immediately the boy was changed. There was tension in prison, in court that day. Now we thought of why should we hide this boy? Good enough, I had a bodyguard. I told him the situation. He said, no, don't worry, we shall handle. So we tried to take him to CPS. Can you keep this boy here? Then we shall see a way of sneaking him back to Kampala or to their village. The OC police said, no. That is a high class what? Thing. We don't want problems with Anita. If we keep him here and they raid the police, it will not be good. So they refused. So we now planned. We had 3 cars. We planned, what do we do? One goes to Serre side, one goes to Moroto side, one goes to Lera side. We maneuvered, turn until it was dark. We assembled in one hotel. Then we took off from there. Immediately we reached Mbale. People started calling us. Have you reached? Is it safe? You know, we don't trust police. And even with the prisoners who remained, they had to look for reinforcements from Soroti prison to come and help them escort these prisoners on foot. They didn't want to use the vehicle, on foot back to the prison. Because they also got scared. And what scared them? They were planning to grab this boy. So that's how we left that place. And from that day, and even the prosecutors, even the judge himself immediately left the chambers, threw his gown there and took off into his car, ran away. The prosecutors were jumping in motorcycles and disappearing. And that time court was empty. It only remained me and my team and this boy. Very scary, with our bodyguard. Only one had left him at home. So I told him, can you handle if there is anything? He said, yes, don't worry. And I'd got a very good bodyguard. Whoever knew him would say, how did you get this man? These are well-trained soldiers in the UPDF. And he was even a sniper in Mogadishu. So he was a very good soldier. So he said, no, we have handled issues better than this. You can even bring 5 patrol cars, but they will not come to us. They will not get us. So we picked courage. So from there we escaped and came back to Kampala. I had those 3 cars. We abandoned them in Mbale, at my home in Mbale. I had to call my other 2 cars from Kampala to come and pick us. So that they can only be monitoring. People were just driving them in town so that they think we are there when we had already left. So that's the thing which made me have about 14 cars. Because I have to change, I have to be undercover on movement. So that's how I survived that arrest inside. I think I might be the only person in the history of Uganda who was arrested inside a maximum prison. So that is why I say she has infiltrated. I don't think the way the president is taking these issues, she knows how to, whenever she is confronted, I think she knows how to explain her things to the president. She must be lying, and she's a very good liar. But we are blessed with a president who's patient. Otherwise, I don't think she would still be in that position. And since I started politics, this will have disorganized my family setting, and I've lost a number of people. I first lost my dad. He got a stroke. My sister was knocked by a speeding car, and she died. It was a magistrate who was driving that car. We just forgave him because we had enough trouble with ourselves. We just told him, no, it's just an accident. We don't want any compensation. They gave us some money for the burial. We never followed up that magistrate. We said, let it rest. Then the killing of my mom. After the killing of my mom, my son also died. One evening around November 2017, I think, if I can still remember, he called me. Papa, I vomited blood. He was doing his final exams in Indeje University. I vomited blood. I told him, rush to the next hospital. He was weak. His girlfriend carried him on a motorcycle and took him to Mengo Hospital. They attended to him, and they collected that blood, about a quarter of a bucket, which had vomited. So we went there, they treated him, gave him first aid and so forth. Then I asked the doctors, can we carry toxicology tests on this blood? They said, no, it's too late. I said, why? They carried the bucket and poured away the blood. Then they did an endoscopy on it and found that the intestines and walls of the stomach were damaged. They had wounds, too many. Said, now what causes this very abruptly like this? This boy was just at home 5 days ago, and now he was doing his exams, and this has happened. So when we tried that, it clicked on our mind again. So, because being a family which is hunted, I became suspicious. And this is a boy who used to arrange for me cars, take it this way, bring it this way, like that, hide this one. So I became suspicious. When he brought home, he was deteriorating. We looked for a private hospital which is hidden. We couldn't go to Mulago, because if we had gone to Mulago, either they could get us there, or they would find off doing something to the boy. So we got a hospital called Malcolm Hospital. It was in Nalia. So we went to took him there. The doctors who were attending to him, but of course tests take long to come. So we waited for the tests, and even I had friends who said that if there is any problem, immediately you get the tests, we are ready to charter a plane and take him to Israel for treatment. I said, that's fine. The tests delayed for 3 days. When it came, the tests came, I communicated. These people were now rushing to find a plane they can use to take him to Israel for treatment. The results came, and the boy died. It was too late. It was very shattering to the family. My stepmom collapsed. We removed the body from the hospital. She remained in the hospital. We picked after 3 days. So we went for the burial. On the day of the burial, we sat in the evening with some people. Then I received a call. David, can you disappear? Don't use your car. Don't use a car of yours which is known. Disappear. One day, boy was sent with a super custom to pick me. Picked me. Everybody disappeared. We ran away and left the home. On the day of the burial, we scattered into different hotels in Mbali. Then in the morning, people organized and came home and guarded the place. They almost beat policemen who came in to guard. I told them, don't beat those policemen. They are the ones helping you to guard the place. And these are innocent guys, because we communicated to the police that we have run away. So they came in to provide security, but we had already run away. The results which came was now sepsis because of the wounds. Sepsis, and then the blood was failing to produce white blood corpuscles. And it was not leukemia, it was not anything, but they also wondered why was the blood failing to produce the what? The white blood cells. So that's the report which came. Then you also wonder, why should blood be? It's a rare thing. The priests who have died from Bukedia, and especially Kachumbala parish, happen to be my friends, because I'm an ex-seminarian, so we have that attachment. And with the Catholic priests, they don't hide their disagreement with people. They tell you off, tell you to go for penance, ask for forgiveness. So they don't want to hear those things. That camp doesn't want to hear that thing. So one priest falls sick. He was transferred first. Then he fell sick. Father Joseph Charles Ukurutu was transferred to Achumet Parish. Now in Achumet Parish, he got a problem. Fell sick. They came and find that the liver had issues. The issues, when there is a measurement of 0 to 40, for him it was 0 to 900. It was now on 900. So he was far, far above the normal thing. Everything, about 5 items in that thing were above the normal setting. So we tried to treat him. The first time, he said he was given poison. We managed to reduce it. There is a doctor who was managing to use other alternative ways of treatment using minerals to disorganize that poison. Then after that, when he went back, they added him more. He said that they have added again the poison. This time was more than what was there when this doctor measured. So he started again the process. So this priest became very black. The fingernails were black. The skin was black and rashes the whole body. And the boils which were in the body were as big as a small baby's fist. Throughout the body, if you counted them, they could have gone even beyond 100 of them in the whole body. So this doctor worked hard. He struggled to remove this portion. It was lead with some magnetic something, and a magnetic, if I read that in medical form, with a magnetic something in that poison, which was causing the liver problems. It was lead, high quantities of lead, zinc, and a lot of chemicals on it, but which were magnetic. And he was suspecting polonium. So he managed to heal the liver. And now the liver came to the normal line. But the other ones were normal, were now on the extreme. But he said those ones are not, they'll just, what? You know, these medical terms, I'm also new in them. Those ones will be okay. Then he said, okay, now what you do? Take him back now to the main course of treatment. He builds up his body to recover, because we had removed the fats from the body to allow the poison come out. And the poison was coming out through those boils, the whole body, those boils, the whole body. So when we got him, I told him, let's go to Mulago. He said, no, these people will find me there. I can't go there. He said, we go to a private hospital. He said, no, first wait. First wait. He was fearing to go anywhere because he trusted this doctor. I took him to the Chinese guys. The Chinese gave him also some medicine which helped him. At least was improving. Then he said, okay, can we go to another hospital? He said, no. So they rang me one day. I was in office. They told me, Father has failed to get up from where he's seated. But, you know, when you hear him from outside, you think he's a normal person talking. Was watching football, and then he started having breathing problems. I told him, Father, since we have refused to go to hospital, the other doctor who treated you, I'll tell him to recommend you where to go. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. He said, okay, let's go to here. Just to a clinic, not even a hospital, to a clinic. You have a drip to put energy in your body. He said, okay, let's go. I held him, put him in the car, and took him to Angel Wing Hospital. When I took him to Angel Wing Hospital, immediately they found that His oxygen levels in the body were low. He was weak. He was not breathing well. They put him on oxygen. Immediately after, he said, now I'm feeling good. We stayed there for a long time. And he consumed over 30 huge cylinders of oxygen. The bishop came to see him and some priests. Then we picked him. The bishop arranged for him to be taken to Omagor Hospital to ICU. He went there. That's when he didn't even finish 2 days in ICU, then he died. And I saw all my struggle to save this man just went like that. Because it was expensive. When they tell you give this food, you have to give. When they say give liver, you have to give. Give salads. And he had a very good appetite. It was a patient who says very cooperative. And he was swallowing his medicine very well. So there we lost him. Then I was attacked. You are saying that this will have killed the father? I said, yes, but he was poisoned. I have not mentioned the names, but he was poisoned. The diocese decided not to follow the course. Said this is the Catholic Church. We are not going to get involved in those things. He has rested. The Lord has called him. Let him rest in peace. As if that was not enough, this year again we lost another priest. Leave us still. So it brings us to square one. Who are these people? And producing a priest is not cheap. It takes, after S6, it takes 7 years to get a priest. It's not cheap. And many, out of 100, 1% can come. It doesn't go beyond 1%. So it's very difficult to get a priest. And this one was well educated and was an asset in the diocese. And even the Ministry of Education was an asset. But we lost him. So these are some of the things. I know maybe government investigated and kept it somewhere, or that information is somewhere, because now the priest is the diocese handle, so I couldn't start up investigations over it. Because even me, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.